Erik Peterson. Good morning, Erik. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great today, Tom. How about you?
Doing good. Good to have you with us on News in the Morning. And time for us to talk about some of the pitfalls of buying and selling nowadays because there are a few problems with the real estate market nationwide. How about here in Williston? How's it going?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, the market nationally has slowed down quite a bit. I'm down in Scottsdale for a mastermind real estate conference with 100 agents from all over the country talking about markets in other areas. Several of them from the Arizona, California, Nevada area. Those have been hit really hard. But it's good to say, compared to everybody else, we're doing better than most areas around the country. We've talked about it before: oil, incomes. More people are flooding back here to work and kind of change their financial picture and their futures. So we have slowed down 30 to 40% down from last year in certain price points. But overall, we're more buyers now than we've had in other times. The inventory is sitting a little bit longer, and you've really got to be smart and strategic if you're a seller.
Smart and strategic. What does that involve?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. Last week, as you recall, we talked about tips for buyers on how to secure your home, especially during the holiday time. Now, really, to be a seller, you have to have your marketing dialed in. That's really the most important part. If somebody's looking for a house, they've got to be able to find you. Previously, Facebook was a really good way to sell your own house, but we're seeing for sale by owners are sitting on the market a lot longer. We've seen a lot of price reductions lately. So you've got to be not only really designed to and marketing the right way, get all of your marketing dialed in, make sure you're on all the sources, of course, but you also really need to determine what your actual motivation is. This is typically a time, as you know, when things are cold, everybody kind of wants to stay inside. A lot less activity typically in the winter months, obviously. So when you do have those showings, a lot of times those are nights and weekends. Sometimes it's dark outside. Make sure that your house is well lit, that your driveways are cleared, that your sidewalks are clear, and that people can get into your house, that your house is in a comfortable temperature so that they don't think that it's overly cold. Are you staging your house properly? Excuse me. What are the other things that you have to do to get people in there? Is your house showable? Are you flexible? A lot of times people just call up and say, hey, I'm outside of one of your listings. Can you get us in there with zero notice? You've got to be flexible and you got to get people in there.
Erik Peterson from Proven Realty, EXP, is with us live from Scottsdale, Arizona this morning. Shame on him. It's 6 degrees here, Erik. You picked the right time to be in Arizona.
I did. That wind chill last week was pretty brutal, and getting on that plane was a good feeling for sure. Sunday morning, it was about 20 below at the wind chill when I got on the plane.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about this idea of selling your own home. It used to be, as you alluded to, I mean, anybody could do it. I mean, you had a lineup outside, people just clamoring for homes. Right now, the waters seem a little bit too turbulent to be doing that.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would say, again, I'm biased, of course, so take it with a grain of salt, but always hire a professional. If you're needing an attorney, you're going to hire an attorney. If you go in to see a doctor, that's a professional. You do it for taxes most often. Same thing with real estate. You need somebody that knows the market, knows how to price your property, knows how to market it. And then most specifically, the number one thing is to negotiate. How good is your agent or versus yourself, of course, about negotiating, helping you get the best deal? And then other things that you can do in addition to, once you get a professional on your team, really good pictures, get people excited to come there. Nobody's going to sell your house for you, whether it's an agent or yourself. The house is going to sell itself, and only if the right group or the right family come in there. So it's really important to make it showable, but more importantly, get those pictures done right, get the marketing done right so that eyes are on it to motivate and get people to get in there.
You know, I always say when people talk about doing it yourself in a profession, I say, sure, you can do it yourself. I can cut my own hair too. It won't look good.
Yeah,
It's not going to look
I would love to see that.
Yeah. So
Um,
careful about that. And especially
yes.
during this times that we're in, you could lose a lot of money. There's also this situation where we've had the hailstorms that have affected roofs in the area. You've had certainly during the wintertime, we have pipes that freeze. and things that we may not be able to figure out ourselves. We need an expert real estate guy or gal to handle
Yeah,
it.
you're absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. And not only to have that expert guy or gal on your team, but also we can only see so much and we can only know so much, right? We're experts in real estate and sales and marketing. We're not inspectors usually. So we always recommend, if you're a seller, get a pre-listing inspection. It's not something that you're required to do, but it's the best money you're going to spend. Then you can really get a third-party unbiased assessment of your house, identify any things that you need to fix. And then oftentimes when buyers are looking and they have a house with a pre-listed inspection that's got everything fixed and another house that doesn't, they're going to take the path of least resistance and find the one that's already got that clean bill of health. It's very important and something that we'd highly recommend.
You're in Scottsdale today. A week or two ago, you were in Las Vegas.
Yep.
You're hop skipping around the country. Why is that important for those who are looking for a real estate person to take care of their home? That you're going to these seminars and meeting with these other people across the country?
Yeah, I think that it's always important to get better. We all got to grow personally and professionally. And the number one way to do that is through education. So this is my 5th conference of the year. I try to do one every other month around the country to meet some of the best real estate minds in the market, find out what they're doing, either from a technology, a tool standpoint, to create a system efficiently. And in this particular one is talking about the virtual assistants that we have. We've got 6 virtual assistants that work from all over the world on our international team that help us out, that are experts in marketing and sales, and they do help with our transaction management and our back end. And this is just ways to be better, sharpen your own sword, and then really at the end of the day, represent your clients in the best light and give them the best chances for success, whether that is buying or selling.
Gone are the days when you just needed a half-page ad in the yellow pages. And if you weren't in the yellow pages, you were in trouble. Nowadays, keeping up with social media, keeping up with the internet and pay-per-click advertising and all that stuff, very important.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I always ask people how they find us, and there's so many different sources. We get people Craigslist, Facebook, Instagram. We had a TikTok video earlier this year that had over 1 million views, and we ended up selling a property in Watford City with a multiple bid situation over asking price. So you just have to be up on the technology, and people really find properties and do research a lot different than they used to. And you just have to be ahead of the curve. You got to push the envelope, and then more importantly, you got to pay to play. You've got to be able to pay to get people to see your properties or see your advertisements or see your education. And that's something that we're really committed to do.
One of the reasons that we combine radio with social media is because each one of them has their attributes, but together they seem to have a more powerful punch. And that's why we do these interviews both on radio and on social media. What do you expect to learn now in Scottsdale before you get out of there?
Yeah, today we're going to cover systems, processes, how to make your team more efficient, ways to communicate with your clients at a higher level, specifically related to education. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty with interest rates, with where things are going. We've got to be able to have a concise message that's easy digestible for clients and prospects, just so they can understand all the nuances of buying and selling. And then, are there any other strategies to help our clients win at the negotiation table?
Erik, always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks again, Tom. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Erik Peterson, Proven Realty EXP, live on the Newsline from Scottsdale, Arizona this morning. Every Tuesday morning in the 8 o'clock news, Erik will update you on what's going on real estate-wise right here in Williston, North Dakota, so you can keep in touch. Good to have you with us. 8:18, Coyote Country News. Good morning.